What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you new to the channel, my name is Vince Warburton and this is the Review Bros channel. That's right, guys. We are doing a full collaboration on the Supps Mr. HYDE Nitro X pre-workout. Man, that is a mouthful. And yeah, today you guys are gonna watch my review. My name is Vince and I'm actually from VWFitness. You guys can check out my channel below in the description and you guys can watch the full Review Bros take on the Nitro X Mr. HYDE pre-workout over on my channel. So kind of an interesting one, guys, a collaboration. You guys will see a few different takes on what our general opinions are, our ratings of this pre-workout, kind of see how we go. Since a lot of you guys are new to who I am, I break down my supplement reviews into 3 different parts. Talk about number 1, price, 2, the label ingredient breakdown, and then lastly I talk about taste. At the very end of the video I will talk about the effects and kind of how I felt. I am going to do a shoulder workout today and we'll jump right into that, but I like to kind of take it from A to B to C and then end on the effects and that kind of thing, and just kind of give you my overall thoughts. All right, so let's just jump right into it, guys. Price, this comes in at $34.99 right off of GNC's website. That is where I personally did buy this product. This was not sent to me. I did not receive it for free. And with that being said, I should also mention that this review is completely unpaid and unbiased. And if I ever get to that point where I'm getting paid for a review, I think that's one of the biggest similarities and the reason why I wanted to collaborate so much with the Review Bros is that we both keep things very honest and transparent when it comes to our reviews. We really just kind of tell it how it is, give you guys our honest opinion, try to give you guys as much information as possible, and we kind of just leave it at that. So jumping right back into the price here, $34.99, that comes in at $1.16 per serving. That is on the lower side of things. This does include 30 full servings, which is great. On my consistent price scale, this comes in right at almost a 5, but I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 in terms of the rating. The price per serving is actually really low. I think that's great. Unfortunately, as I get into this label, guys, it's gotta be a 4. Like I said, everything kind of coincides when it comes to price point, label, effectiveness, all those things kind of work together. When I do break down though the review, I like to talk about just the price per serving and I base it upon everything else that I've reviewed. So in this case, it is a 4 out of 5. But let's jump right into that label ingredient breakdown. Pop that up here now and let's get right into it. We are starting out with a 7.6 gram scoop. For me personally, that is very, very small unless there's very few actives. And as you guys can see here, there's actually a good amount of actives that are in here. So obviously you guys can guess it. Things are probably gonna be a little underdosed here. So we start out with their strength matrix at 4.5 grams, and that includes 2.5 grams of beta alanine. Obviously, I like to see at least 3 grams of beta alanine. That's what's gonna give you those tingles. That's kind of, for me personally, gonna tell me like, hey, the pre-workout is starting to kick in. It's go time, let's get at it. I think that's a little underdosed for me. I like to see at least 2.8 to 3.2, if not more. I've seen some pre-workouts do more beta alanine, but this is a little bit low. Moving right along, we have 1 gram of the creatine hydrochloride. I think it's great that they're putting some creatine in here. Is it enough? No, it should be at least 5 grams. That's kind of the daily dosage that most people recommend. You know, obviously 1 gram is better than nothing, but at the same time, if you're not supplementing creatine outside of the pre-workout, really what is that gonna do? What is it gonna benefit you? And that's just my personal opinion, guys. I believe that creatine should be in most pre-workouts. It is not typically in, I would say, 95% of pre-workouts do not put creatine in there. I'm guessing it's because of stomach issues and other issues that users tend to get with creatine use. For me personally, I don't get any of those. That's why I would prefer to see it in my pre-workouts. So moving right along, we have 500 milligrams of the arginine silicate, another pump product, gonna help with that. That's a decent dose. Again, everything in here just seems a little bit low, especially in the strength matrix. Moving right along, we have 500 milligrams of L-citrulline aspartate. That is extremely low. I've talked about citrulline on the channel a ton. The Review Bros, I know I've talked about citrulline a ton. And 500 milligrams, not even giving me 1 gram of citrulline, I don't think is enough. I think you should be at least getting 4 grams of citrulline. Now for me personally, I do supplement citrulline outside of any pre-workout and I take about 9 grams a day. That's right, 9 whole grams. So for me personally, citrulline's not a big deal, but I know a lot of people are not supplementing citrulline outside of their pre-workouts. So it is important. And in this case, highly underdosed, not very impressed with that. moving right along. We have 420 milligrams of the caffeine matrix. 300 milligrams comes from the caffeine anhydrous, 70 milligrams comes from the dicaffeine malate, and then 50 milligrams comes from the caffeine citric acid blend. It does not give you a breakdown of the citric acid and caffeine anhydrous that is included within that 50 milligrams. But it does say on the side of the tub that it is 400 milligrams of caffeine total. So this is a heavy hitter when it comes to the caffeine. I know I've said it on my channel personally, I'm a stim junkie. I've been looking for heavy stim pre-workouts. Anything really over 300 for me is heavy stim. Obviously I've gone up to 500 milligrams of caffeine, but 400, I have a feeling stim wise, that's a good amount of caffeine. So moving right along, guys, we have 653 milligrams of the intensity matrix. When I look at the ingredients in here, it kind of comes off as a very nootropic, some stimulant sort of stuff that goes on in here. And when I get into this, guys, I'm just gonna say this right off the top. All these ingredients are underdosed, every single one. And so that's what's really frustrating when I see products like this, is that it's highly underdosed. And people are buying it, they're paying $35 for a product that has great marketing, has a very wide audience, but unfortunately, I just don't think it is dosed properly. We start out with 500 milligrams of the choline bitartrate. That right there is close to an efficacious dose in my opinion. It should be right around like 550 and up. So it's not too far off, so I will give them the benefit of the doubt there. We have 50 milligrams of the L-theanine, highly underdosed. Now this is one of those ingredients that can be argued. And I actually, on my personal channel, I just had someone, reach out and say that they would prefer it to actually be 50 milligrams so that it doesn't take over the stimulant side of things and bring things down. They want to feel that high stimulant and not kind of balance it out with this ingredient. For me personally, I do like to see at least 200 milligrams. That's just me. Everyone has their own opinion. Some people would like to feel the full effect of the stimulant and not kind of balance things out with something like this. But for me personally, I would have preferred to see a little bit more than 50 milligrams. All right, so then next up we have 50 milligrams of the N-acetyltyrosine. And to be honest with you guys, this is again highly underdosed. It should be right around 350 milligrams. All these kind of ingredients are kind of nootropics, kind of that mental clarity, mental focus, can also help with a lot of the stimulant that we are getting, 400 milligrams from the caffeine. So then next up we have 25 milligrams of the theacrine as teacrine. And again, highly underdosed, guys. It should be right around 250 to 300 milligrams. That's why it's really interesting to see these ingredients here. They're just so far off that it's hard for me to even figure out what they're trying to do. If they're just trying to like boost the label up with a bunch of ingredients or what exactly is going on here. All right, next up we have 25 milligrams of the GABA. Again, this is kind of one of those interesting ingredients that I can see why they didn't do the full efficacious amount, which is right around 100 to 200 milligrams per serving. Obviously there's 25 milligrams. This is gonna help with like sleep. Obviously as a pre-workout, you don't really wanna have a lot of that because we wanna get energized, we wanna get pumped, we wanna get into the gym, work out hard and crush it. All right, so then last up we have 3 milligrams of the yohimbe bark extract. Efficacious doses here, guys, can be as low as 5 milligrams. So obviously this is a little bit low. Yohimbe is kind of one of those funny ones that some people will react to very easily and they don't like what can kind of happen. It's a very heavy stimulant if it does affect you in that way. For me personally, I have felt some of the negative side effects that come with yohimbe. I don't think I'm necessarily going to get it with this. 3 milligrams, it's not a lot. In terms of the label, guys, for me personally, and my rating and how I kind of break things down, I do like how it's at least fully transparent, but everything in here is just not dosed to my standards. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to give this a 1 out of 5. I just don't think the label ingredient profile is what I'm looking for, especially at $34.99. Maybe if it's 20 bucks, something like that, and I could, stack this with another product, different story maybe, but even so, guys, I just feel like everything in here is just very underdosed. So let's just jump right into the taste, guys. We went with the cherry popsicle flavor here. It does come in multiple different flavors. Recommends 8 ounces of water. That is what we have here in the official VWFitness shaker cup, by the way. Snazzy, snazzy. You guys have to pick one of those up. So let's open this right up here. Like I said, I haven't taken this pre-workout, never taken it. Very cherry smell. It smells like the cherry chapstick that you kind of get. Scoop size, again, guys, it's only 7.6 grams. This does not recommend to try to take 2 if you're an extreme lifter or someone that needs heavy stim. We're gonna do 1 scoop here right into the water. All right, guys, so everything mixed up pretty well here. Not a lot of sediment, honestly. It's pretty good looking here. Everything kind of broke up really nicely. I do not use a blender ball in any of my reviews, and foaming is, yeah, I would say mediocre to limited amount, which is nice. Smells good. It does, like I said, smell very, very cherry-y. Woo! All right, so it does taste very cherry, but kind of this fruit blast. And there's kind of a sour kind of flavoring right on the back end there that I just tasted. It's a cherry and then kind of a coconut tropical flavor on there. Everything, like I said, mixes very smoothly. In terms of the taste, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's astronomically great. I think that it does mix really well and it tastes decent. It's not like overly awesome and it's not terrible. So, all right guys, so I'm gonna smash this back, get down into the gym, and we'll come back here in about an hour or two and let you guys know my full honest opinion on the effects and whether or not I would recommend this product for you guys to go pick up. We'll see you guys here soon.
2 hours later.
All right guys, we just finished up that 56-minute shoulder and oblique workout along with a 15-minute warm-up on the Stairmaster. That's kind of my typical when it comes to my routine. I did get some of the beta-alanine tingles right at the beginning, but after the warm-up, I didn't really feel it too much. That is the main active ingredient in this at 2.5 grams. So that's more than likely why I did actually feel it. Whereas if this was 2.5 grams in another pre-workout, I wouldn't have necessarily felt it, in my own opinion. To be honest with you, I didn't really feel a ton in this. Caffeine-wise, I don't really feel it too much. I did feel like I was pretty motivated, but overall I didn't really get like a good pump. I didn't really feel like my focus was like 110%. Obviously this does have a decent amount of caffeine, guys. I mean, I'm used to 300, 350 milligrams, and this is pushing 400. So I was expecting a little bit more, but like I said in the ingredient and label breakdown, obviously everything in here is pretty underdosed. And so in my own opinion, the effects wise, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. It just wasn't that great. I think for the price point, you can find something that's a little bit better or you pay a little bit more and you get a little bit more. That's kind of my honest thought on this pre-workout. Make sure you leave a comment below, guys. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are, and also make sure you check out my channel, VWFitness. You can watch the Review Bros full review there as well. I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys enjoyed this review, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and bell for notifications. You know, I gotta give a big shout out to the Review Bros for letting me come on here. I'm more than happy to have them on my channel, and I'm glad we were able to collaborate because they're an awesome channel, guys, fully transparent, honest. I really like the information that they bring to the table. As well with that, they're also very entertaining, and I really enjoy their content. So make sure you guys follow these guys. Make sure you have that bell on for notifications when they post. They do post very consistently. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching this video. And as I always say on my channel, I'll see you in the next one.